So, hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Just introduce yourself real quick, what you're interested in, what exactly you do.
Okay. Hi. My name's Aidan.
Mhm.
I'm an actor. And I'm interested in direction, writing, just the film business, I guess. And I mean, I've acted in a couple movies, TV shows, commercials.
All right, cool. So, can you tell me your experience with? I know you were on the Punisher back in 2017. So, can you tell me that experience?
That was a trip. So they didn't tell me. I didn't really realize what I was doing until I was on set. They told me it was a show called Crime. They
Mhm.
didn't give me it because it was very non-disclosure, and on the set they didn't say anything about the Punisher. They still said it was Crime. And then I realized that I saw these Marvel trucks everywhere, and I met John Bernthal, who I knew was in Daredevil, and I was like, hmm. And then he kept saying the word the Punisher over and over again. I was like, oh, is this? And then I realized that we were being lied to, and they didn't tell us anything the entire time. So yeah, that was a really cool experience, and it was great working with John, who's just such a great guy. He was in The Walking Dead. He was Shane. Yeah, it
All
was
right.
good.
So, what exactly got you into acting? Like, how old were you when you started acting, and what inspired you to continue that path?
Um, well, it's funny. My mom was almost like this actress kind of model growing up, and when you used to hear those commercials on the radio where it was like a Disney Channel is obviously it was a scam. It was like, do you want your child to be the next Disney star? I'd get all excited, and then my mom was like, I don't know if we're gonna do that, but I can help you go somewhere. So we went to this place called Random Farms, and they kind of took me to the showcase, and it really wasn't a promising place to start, but I got really lucky, and my manager was in the audience when I read a script from a commercial, and then she called me a week later, and then I started working with her.
All right, cool. So, what kind of commercials have you been able to be a part of?
I was in one for Disney World, which is definitely the favorite one I've been in because they flew my entire family out first class, and then we were in Disney World before it was open, so it was really weird, walking around Magic Kingdom with no one there alone.
Wow.
And then we got free fast passes, and when we weren't filming, of course, we were hitting the park, relaxing. Or then we went to an Orlando Magic game. It was fun. Yeah, it was definitely.
So, can you talk to me about any other parts that you had, any roles in other films, and exactly what they were like?
Um, I was just in an episode of Ray Donovan,
Okay.
which is a show on Showtime, and I played the young version of Ray Donovan.
Okay.
A few scenes in an episode. That was the most recent one I did. I have a movie coming out called The Secret. That's I think it was going to be released in theaters on April 17th. It was released by Columbia. So
Okay.
I was pretty excited for that one, but I don't know where it's going. They're still deciding if it's going to come out on demand or if they're going to wait it out and release in theaters. So I'm pretty excited about that. Um, yeah, those are the two most recent ones.
Okay. Cool. So, can you talk to me a little bit about The Secret, what exactly it's about, and what is your character's role within The Secret?
Well, in The Secret, it's based off a book that was
Okay.
kind of made. It's not really a story. It's not a novel. It's more like a book of tips to make your life a little more positive, and it's based off that. And basically, it's about this family who is kind of poor, and then they go through a rough patch, and they need to learn the secret to help them gain positivity and find better life.
All right, cool. So, can you tell me what it's like to be on set, especially like at a young age, being the actor on set? What's that like? How's that experience?
Scary. Very. I mean, when you're working, because Katie Holmes was in the movie with me, and Josh Lucas and Jerry O'Connell, and it was. I mean, it's kind of threatening, being with them every day when you've seen them in numerous movies, like Jerry O'Connell, who's in Stand By Me, which is really a movie that made me want to start acting. That was really weird working with him every day, and it's daunting because you don't really know the etiquette, especially when you're young. The first time I was on a set, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know who I was talking to. You know, and you wanna you really wanna impress the director because that's the person. I'm sure you guys know, but you really, especially when you have like a moment with a director or you're just like speaking to them off set, that's probably the most scary parts, I would say, just
Okay.
because they're making like big decisions and they're the boss on set. You
Yeah.
know.
So obviously, when these films premiere, they have like these little events. What was it like to be part of those events, those premiere events, especially?
Um, they were nice. I hate watching myself on screen. I hate it. Like it's like I watched, I think a year ago, an independent movie came out. It was about this Syrian Jewish family in Brooklyn, and it was about this kid, his family, and they had a few rough patches. There's a couple suicides in the family, and there's a lot of, it was an asking role, a lot of crying, a lot of yelling, and it was hard to watch that. It was like, especially since like you've evolved as an actor, especially at this age. Like sometimes I look back on those scenes and I'm like, dang, I could have done much better with that.
Mhm.
And it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch yourself be that emotional, and it's hard to
Right.
watch yourself. So
Yeah.
I tend to not look forward to screenings of those movies as much.
Mhm.
No disrespect to the creators or the time I spend on those sets, but it's tough.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're into acting. I'm assuming that you're part of any drama clubs or theater in your school by any chance, or
No,
no?
I'm not. I I really, theater is always something that's kind of been like kind of foreign to me, and I never really saw myself doing that from the very beginning. Because I can't imagine like the amount of energy that takes and the amount of confidence in yourself that takes to, like, it's almost like a sport, like everything needs to be perfect. Where, like, you're on set, you can like be like, all right, let me take that back. I couldn't imagine that, and I'm not for musicals and all that. I'm not the
Right.
best,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So is there anyone at your school that like recognizes you, or at least like knows about your whole acting career?
Well, first, it's kind of hard because Noah Schnapp goes to my school as well,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
and like before Stranger Things, like I probably get like recognized just as much as him, and like we were aware of each other, and I saw him on audition once or twice, and then of
Okay.
course Stranger Things came out, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Do you know Noah Schnapp?" So in my school, that's like the main amount of like attention I get through acting and everything.
Okay,
But
got it.
outside, I get recognized for The Punisher a lot, mainly, and every once in a while, someone will be like, "Oh, you look familiar," and I'll be like, "Have you seen the Disney World commercial?" And you know,
Yeah, no, I totally got that. So, like, what is it do like, for example, does your school by any chance offer any classes for acting or film or any creatives that so that kids have an outlet to learn?
um, well, I'm I'm going into my freshman year next year, and the middle school doesn't really offer much for that, but I think my high school does a lot. There's a lot of film classes, there's a lot of photography classes, lots of improv classes, lots of outlets for kids to
Okay.
perform and to create. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
How do you balance school with acting? Because obviously acting is not like a 9 to 5 job. It's like very sporadic. So how do you
Yeah,
balance the 2?
yeah, it's definitely hard. It's definitely probably. When I went to film The Secret, I left my school for 2 months, and I moved to New Orleans with my mom,
Wow.
and it was probably one of the most difficult things I had to do because, a lot of my teachers weren't like, this kind of a foreign thing to them, being like, no kid, I don't think, has ever left school for 2 months,
Yeah.
and, like, they were, like, responsible for sending work, so a lot of them just kind of ignored it, and just, like, when I got home, like, I had to catch up a lot, and, my tutor on set, she was a retired French teacher, and I was a little confused as to why they hired her, because I don't even take French. But you know, it was tough. It's definitely probably the worst part about acting, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you're a student just like me. How has been, school now with online for you? How has it been treating you?
Um, the first couple of weeks, I don't know if this is the same for you guys. We got a lot of work, I mean, it kind of died down a little bit, but I mean, for the first like 2 or 3 weeks, I would probably get up. I mean, like I was sleeping in, so I'd probably get up around 11, and then I wouldn't stop working till like 8.
Right.
It was, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of work, and then I mean, like I think they must have gotten some emails, and parents must have been outraged because
Yeah.
even my parents were like,
Wait a minute.
yeah, like this is a lot. So they dialed it back. They dialed it back. And, we have these Zoom classes now, which I think are helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's been easier.
So I know you're more into acting, but is there any other creatives that you're interested in, whether that's photography or actually creating videos?
Yes. I am very interested in directing. I think it's something I'd like to pursue at some point.
Cool.
I was going to take a film course at NYU this summer, and I took one I purchased like SUNY Purchase, which is a local college, and those are all great experiences. I mean, movies are definitely my favorite art form. I mean, the goal for me in my life is to at least, be a part of the creation of at least one movie. Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I've been obsessed. The first director I really got into was Steven Spielberg, and I watched all of his movies in the span of 2 weeks when I was like in 4th grade. I was just like mesmerized. And then obviously since then, you got into like Wes Anderson, Quentin, David Fincher, Noah Baumbach, and just like,
That's awesome. Is there any like specific genre that really interests you?
Drama, and like I've been really into these like dark comedies, these TV show dark comedies like Atlanta, Master of None. I've been really into those. My favorite movie probably is Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee. That's probably my favorite movie. So like, drama,
Okay.
kind of topical drama, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously, it seems like you're interested in creating a film in any time in the future. Is there any films that you really pull from for inspiration that you've seen and you're like, you know what, I would like to incorporate this element or that element?
Definitely. I mean, I almost like there's if you guys seen Manchester by the Sea, it was directed by a guy named Kenneth Lonergan.
Heard of it, I've yet to see it though. I want to see it.
So he has this almost way of creating a scene where it's like the most dramatic moments are presented as almost like minor parts, and you sometimes he pulls far away from moments that would be a big moment. They're almost like times where like there's a scene where an uncle has to address his son over the death of his father because he just died, and it's a wide shot, which I thought it was a wide shot, and it stays there for about 2 minutes, and you can't hear what they're saying. And the reactions, you can't really see them, but like you see ones like the son is sad. And I thought that was really such a weird choice, but in a weird way that it works because it's honest, like not all the like most important moments of your life are going to be the most cinematic,
Yeah.
It almost like adds like beauty and like the ugliness of it. I thought that's the way I saw it,
I know, I totally get you. I totally get you, especially.
That sounds really pretentious, but I mean that's the way I saw it.
No, totally. That's an awesome interpretation. So I was actually speaking with Dennis before, and I was asking him, obviously with quarantine, we have so much time on our hands, and you're into the creatives. Are there any projects that you're currently working on or interested in working on?
Well, getting auditions, it's hard because you're not really hearing back from anyone since, the entire business is totally shut down, and they plan on reopening it soon. But I haven't, like I went on Stranger Things auditions, ironically, and like they said, like it's gonna be a while before we hear, and production there kind of closed, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And and a bunch of other like Netflix has been giving us a lot of work, a lot of auditions and stuff like that, a lot of meetings, and a lot of you can't really go into the city anymore, which is what I usually do. So a lot of self tapes, all that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I know there's a lot of online auditions currently right now. I did an interview a couple weeks ago, if my memory serves me right, and they were saying how they're doing a lot of online auditions. Are you doing a lot of online auditions as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, awesome. So I guess seeing how we can like explain how I can word this question, but what is like advice that you would give? It's because we're both young, but what advice would you give to kids around our age who are interested into the whole career?
Well, I have to say, I got pretty lucky with how, I came up and got into the business and was able to like start getting real auditions.
Mhm.
But I would say remain persistent. I would say, I mean, I started pretty young, so I wasn't really expecting much. But I look back on it, I wasn't really getting anything for 2 years,
Right.
and I stuck with it, and I kept putting in good work. And you got to stay on your craft. You gotta find inspiration somewhere. And I think what really helped me was watching movies.
Okay.
Like, I've been since like I was like 9, I became to like a total cinephile. And you know, like if you see a movie that's like, that you think you can gain inspiration from, definitely watch it. I mean, there's so many like nuances in these like performances from like child actors that are coming out now. Like I said before, Stranger Things, and those It movies, and I thought those performances were amazing. And there's so much you can learn from actors who are currently succeeding. So I would just say, stay true to your craft, and watch these movies and stay persistent. That's what I would say.
All right, awesome. And would you say that for acting, because I've heard that especially at a young age, it can be hard to get a role because of the whole like 18 years. Have you ever bumped into that road by any chance?
For sure, for sure. Like, lately, since I just turned 14, my mom has been kind of like, trying to like lie about my height a little bit, and like matting my hair down to make me look younger, and like telling me to like raise my voice a little higher than I usually would.
Mhm.
So like I can kind of still go for these kind of like, like 11 to like 12-year-old kind of roles, which
Right.
seem to come up a lot. But going to these years where it's like there's not many auditions for
Okay. Okay.
right.
So as of right now, I see that you're really like you're into the movies, you're into acting. As of right now, it's going to be a hard question, but what career are you really looking forward to going into, like after college and such?
I would love to continue acting, and I think I'm just gonna ride it out. But my first love, was always directing. Like all of my like heroes and idols, were directors, and I could talk about movies pretty much all day. I've just been obsessed. I've been trying to watch a movie every day. Over quarantine, even though if it's watching like Lady Bird for like the seventh time over. Like, I could talk about, yeah, you like Lady Bird, yeah, um, yeah, um, yeah, I could talk about movies all day, and I think they're probably the most important art form. Right now,
Yeah.
as, so I really, really want to pursue a career in directing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are there any like binge-worthy movies that you suggest people to like get onto, such as Lady Bird, iconic
Yeah,
film?
yeah, yeah. All of Greta Gerwig stuff, Little Miss Sunshine, I just saw, I loved. Do the Right Thing, I loved. I saw that a while ago though. American Beauty, Lost in Translation. Um, I mean, Pulp Fiction. Who doesn't love Pulp Fiction? But like, that's kind of, you know. Um, all of Noah Baumbach's films, Squid and the Whale,
Okay.
um, Moonlight, Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson,
Okay.
and yeah, all of the Scorsese. Yeah, I,
Okay.
yeah.
So are there any like goals or accomplishments that you want to achieve by high school or by the end of high school that are related within the creatives?
I mean, I would like to write my own script at some point during high school. I know it's gonna be tough because I play sports, school, and I got this acting thing going. But I would like, even if it doesn't get published, I would like to just like to accomplish something, even like if it's just personal for me. I would just like to write a script on my own, maybe like watch some videos, just like, or like even if it's absolutely terrible, I would like to complete a script start from finish by myself, at some point during high school.
Okay. So
Yeah.
exactly, we're gonna go back to your experiences. What was it like playing young Ray Donovan in that series?
Yeah, it was cool. I was only in a couple scenes, so it wasn't a lot of time on set. It was only like a week or something. But it was great. I got to work with Kira Sedgwick, who is Kevin Bacon's wife, and also is a very big actor, very admirable person. And it was a trip working with her every day. And I thought, I mean, with that show, I mean, a lot of the performances, like out of Liev Schreiber, who plays Ray Donovan, and John Boyd, who I met on set, nice guy, and he plays Ray Donovan's dad.
Mhm.
They were really asking, and I watched the show before, and a lot of those performances were so good. It was kind of like scary, and going into that, being kind of, I mean, I don't want to say beginner, but compared to them, I'm definitely an amateur. So, I mean, it was scary at first, but Kira was very nice to me and very supportive of the performances. And John Boyd gave me a great compliment after one take. And I felt very comfortable after like a couple days. It felt, yeah.
All right, cool. So, have there been anyone that really has affected or has been an inspiration or a role model in your career so far? Especially in this industry, networking is huge too. So.
Well, Joaquin Phoenix has always been my favorite actor. Always. I mean, he just won the Oscar for Joker, which is I was really psyched about. But I mean, Joaquin has always been my favorite, and I think the choices he makes with the films he does, and I think his performances are second to none. And I mean, he's always been a hero to me. I think that, and I mean, Spike Jones, who I mean, like he's directed films, and now I think he's the CEO of Viceland,
Mhm.
and he directed one of my favorite movies, Her, which stars Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, those are two people
Okay.
who I think really like got their hands dirty at first, but then succeeded.
Yeah.
So,
Now, how would you say that, like, the importance, if there is importance, towards networking in this industry? I know that making connections is really huge. So,
yeah.
how your experience, like, making connections?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit at the end.
Oh, did I cut out? Oh, whoops,
Yeah.
sorry. So pretty much we're gonna like wrap it up, and it's pretty much like asking whether or not what it was like your experience with making connections, especially in this industry. It's really important. What was that like?
Um, it was hard at first because I mean, I'm gonna be honest. You pretty much have to sacrifice all your social media if you want to promote yourself, promote the things you're in, promote yourself as an actor, promote your own career. You pretty much have to sacrifice. I mean, obviously, I'm not a big fan of hashtags, you know,
Yeah.
and I think social media is a big part of that, and I think you really got to promote yourself out there. I mean, if it were up to me, I would not even be on social media and not posting kind of these. I mean, I think a little pretentious post about like this TV show coming out tonight,
Yeah.
and like new headshots or whatever. So I didn't really like any of that,
Mhm.
but you know, it's that's I think that's the main thing because I think in today's day and age, like when you think of someone, I mean what you obviously do or like see someone, you want to look them up, and from there you want to go to their social media, and then from there you learn who they are and what I mean. And if you want someone to notice you, I think you really got to promote yourself, promote your career
All
there.
right. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Is there anything, any last bit of advice that you would like to give to anyone out there watching who's
Um,
interested in the career?
I think my number one advice is to just, I mean, like I'm sure all of you do, just keep watching movies. I
Yeah.
mean, the inspiration you can gain out of there and the inspiration I've gained previously out of there, I think is the best advice I can possibly give. And I think you got to pay attention to people's careers. And if you see an actor you like in a movie, if you see a director you like in the movie, I think look at their stuff, watch their movies, watch their work, gain inspiration. That's what I would say.
All right, cool. So this is the time where you can plug in anything, where people can follow you and where they can see any of the shows or movies or films or projects that you've been a part of.
Okay. The Secret movie. I'm not sure when that's coming out, but hopefully they'll make an announcement soon. You can follow them at the Secret movie, at the Secret Dare to Dream. I'm sorry. Wow. Um, yeah, and I think there'll be announcements soon about when that's coming out. Um, Nosferatu was a show I was just in. I think that's coming out sometime in June.
Mhm.
If you follow me on Instagram at Aidan Brennan, you probably find out about that through a pretentious post. But The Punisher's on Netflix. That's all I really got to say.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me be able to interview you. You've been awesome.
Thank you so much.
And I hope you stay safe and healthy, especially now that we're in quarantine. So,
Yeah, you too.
alrighty then. Bye bye.
All right, see ya.